religion, brother, that's the only time religion. Why don't you get it? That's the only time religion, brother, it's good enough for me. My Lord, that's the only time religion, brother, that's the only time religion. Why don't you get it? That's the only time religion, brother, it's good enough for me. Yes, just come on, brothers, if you want to hear a story about that preacher and the bear. Gather round, boys, I don't want you to miss none of this here story, cause it goes like this. A preacher, he went out to hunting. It was on one Sunday morning. Though he was one Christian young man, but he took his gun along. Well, the first thing he shot was
I seen that you were 99 years old.
Yes, sir.
How do you make it to 99 years old?
By putting my trust in God.
By putting your trust in God.
Putting my trust in God and just go on about my business.
Right, okay.
But these things can be changed with prayer.
Reverend Dr. Lady Bishop says that voodoo has a bad name in America, and as the only American woman ordained a voodoo priestess in Haiti, she sees herself as sort of a goodwill ambassador for voodoo, and she's out to change its image.
Okay, voodoo is an African science that is tied into the laws of nature and the universe. Voodoo works with the spirits and the saints, the same saints that we have in the Catholic Church. The spirits were religious holy men from West Africa that the Catholic Church never canonized. Witchcraft is dealing strictly with pins, needles, and dolls, and the black magic. Satanism is dealing with the devil.
And voodoo is not about that at all.
No, voodoo, as I said, is dealing strictly with the spirits and the saints and knowing how to feed them and to make them work to your advantage for the good of the people.
Whatever your perception of voodoo, a visit to Lady Bishop's workplace is a surprise. Everything from floors to walls is spotlessly clean. It smells pleasantly of incense and herbal oils, and there's really nothing creepy lying about that can't be found in many religious households, except perhaps the rooster head in the Miracle Whip jar. This was a gift from a voodoo priest in Haiti. It is the highest honor a priest can pay a priestess. The image of voodoo is firmly fixed in the minds of most Christian Americans as evil or in league with the devil. How do you deal with such allegations?
Well, I try to educate the people to let them know that voodoo is dealing with the saints, being able to set up altars to them, knowing what type of fruits and wines that they like best and which days they like it, and that voodoo deals strictly with the Bible and the Psalms. There's a certain Psalms, whenever I give someone something to do, there's a Psalms out of the Bible that will go along with that. God bless you. I'd like to welcome you to my home today. If it wasn't for people like you, I wouldn't be able to do what God has willed me to do while I'm down here on this earth. Right now, you're facing the west. And anytime that you want to get rid of something, or you want to wash something out of your life, you do it toward the west. Do you know why? That's because that's the way the sun goes down. So anytime you want to get rid of something negative or wash something out of your life, you would work it or pray it toward the west.
A visit to Lady Bishop begins with a ritual cleansing of the sins with a specially prepared bath of herbs and oils, followed by homage to the patron saint of whatever city you are in this case, St. Barbara. Then after a prayer, she begins a spiritual reading.
Before we do anything, we start off with prayer. There's nothing that can be done without acknowledging God as having all power. I have no power. God has the power, and he uses me to pray and to bless with the people. Each person case is tailored individually according to their needs. And a lot of people feel that they need something that they really don't need. A lot of people are just suffering from stress, or so many people having them confused by telling them that something is on them when really nothing is on them. They need to get organized. And that is one of the major things that most people lack in their life today is organization. And so I mainly start off with prayer. Prayer is something that everybody needs, and it is the key to this kingdom and the kingdom to come.
Lady Bishop was raised a Catholic and discovered her vocation for a ministry of sorts early in life. Although her work is sometimes difficult, it is always rewarding.
Sometimes you look at the people and it just seems like your work is in vain. but then God always comes in and lets you know that no, it's not in vain. His way, Jesus's way, wasn't easy. None of the saints that you have your altar set up to, their way wasn't easy. And then I just start counting my blessings, and then I just keep that faith. But I've never just say turned away from God. Things have never gotten so bad where I say, well, God, I know you're not there. That's never happened to me. But I love my work. I really love my work. I just wouldn't know how to do without having the daily prayer or just working with the people. Sometimes I kind of, say, well, I'm not going to pray for someone if I see them down the road, but it's hard to stop and not offer a prayer to someone in need. It's just very hard.
Lady Bishop and her clients truly believe that she has the know-how to help people with all kinds of problems, but she cautions those who would be believers not to rush out to the corner botanical store for candles and oils.
You can take a glass of clear water, and if it's blessed, and if you were gifted to bless this, you may be able to do more with that than you can with the certain oils. You have to be very careful with these oils. Like, for instance, these oils are not as pure as the ones that we get from Haiti. These have a lot of sullivan in them. First of all, if you're not blessed to work with this, it's not going to help you at all. If you didn't go to someone that tells you what to do and how to uncross these oils and put the right prayers with them, none of them will work.
I have been a voodoo priestess for 30 years in New Orleans. I was born in the countryside of Mississippi. I was baptized under the Baptist order, and I was ordained in my ministry in Chicago in 1982.
How long have you been here?
Oh, in this spot, 3 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but in New Orleans, 30 years.
Wow.
And you don't find voodoo, voodoo find you. The word voodoo is God.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and write a book now because New York was...
Gina was born in New Orleans. Her family is native of New Orleans. The curator at the Voodoo Museum brought her to me.
This is a story.
We thought I could be a conduit for her to ground herself.
Oh my gosh, look at there. Pharaoh. I noticed that every time they come here, the first question people have when they walk through the door is, what is voodoo? So I can't imagine what that's like trying to answer that every single day, all day.
Well, it's a word that is somewhere with a lot of distraction or an abstract seminon floating in the air to me. It's like this word just keeps floating. Voodoo is like this big ship with a lot of sails, but no foundation to anchor the sails on.
With the wind.
Yeah.
I want your opinion on something.
Yeah.
You see people dancing, they hear voodoo, they hear party, it's very hedonistic, it's drumming and all of that. What could we do, or what needs to take place for people to become more aware of the medicinal and the healing aspect of it? Because I think it's
voodoo is empowering yourself to become more of an enhanceable person, to rise beyond improvised situation. The voodoo God is the will of every man, and if your willpower is searched, then you're not going to come suppressed to this circumstance. You see ways to advance beyond it.
People in general are really afraid of the power and the authority that God has given to us. They're afraid of it.
That may have something to do with it too, but it's all God's program.
Right.
But I try to eat as healthy as I can. Sometimes I get out of line, like everybody else. But I eat vegetables and green vegetables and fruits and stuff. Try to take care of myself the best I can.
Beautiful, fine ladies and fine men, hear me. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatever a man soweth, that shall he reap. Listen to me. Your talent, don't try to make room for your gift. Let your gift make room for you. Listen here. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Take your time. Make the right decisions. And the Lord, give the Holy Spirit something to do. Don't try to do everything, because you need the Holy Spirit with you wherever you go. Take him with you. Let him order your steps. Don't try to take over everything. Lay back. Humble yourself. That's the way. And let the Lord bless you for whatever you're trying to do. You need it. Don't let the devil fool you. That's his job, to fool you. To lead you out on that limb and let you fall and laugh. Don't let him fool you. You need the Lord Jesus.
Okay.
Now, I never knew him to pastor no church. It was my grandfather, but he was a preacher.
Okay. Okay.
And they got it all from there. They went to church. Well, every time the door was open, they were there.
Wow.
They had to be, else there wouldn't be no skin left on them.
And I have a feeling of destiny about those of you that are here today. The Spirit said to me as I sat there, the right people are here.
So much problem now. We have so much unbelief, so much backsliding, and things. The Bible gives us directions and what to go by and how to live, but we live the opposite way. And then we think we're supposed to create everything and do everything, get everything handed to us and give to us, but God sees different. You see, you have to work out your soul salvation. You got to work it out, and by that you got to be obedient to the Word of God. And if you're in church and trying to live right and do right, well, God's right there with you, because He said in His Word He would be with you always, even until the end of time. So He's always with us. And if anybody steps out of line, it's us, it's not Him.
Right.
We steps out of line, and then we don't want to take the whooping or take what it takes to get back in. But when you get out of line, your day is coming. It's coming back to you. You might get away for a while, a long while, but it's coming up again. So you have to stay in line. And this is the reason why I say many of us, ain't always been Christian. We walk contrary to God's will just like the rest of them. But the thing of it is, you come to yourself and get back in. God always leaves a space for you. And if He leaves a space, that space is to repent and get back in line with God. And when you get in line, stay in there. Stay in the circle. Don't get out. Stay in there. And it's going to get rough. Don't you think it's all peaches and cream, because it's not. It's hard to obey God, and the devil is always on your trail. He's always, if it ain't one thing, it's something else. You have sickness, you have heartache, you have pain, you have other things that you got to deal with. But you got to put your trust in God. If you trust Him, stay with Him. We're so easy to give up. We give up. These little things, every time the wind blows, we get up, we run, we scared to death. And don't have to go to the doctor and get a report. You get a bad report like you got kidney trouble, cancer or something, oh, it just goes all to pieces. But God's got it all in His hand. If we be obedient to God and live according to Him, we got to endure hard. We have to endure hardness. We have to endure hardness and be obedient. Call on His name. He said, call on me in the time of trouble. I'll hear and I'll deliver you. Then you shall glorify me. So He wants you to call on Him. He knows you're going to have these things. He knows you're going to have some trials. He said you will have trials. But God is with you. So he's with us, even when we think he's not. He's with us anyway. And we just have to believe him and be obedient to the word. Stay with the word, stay with the Lord no matter what.
Yes, sir.
You run into hardships and hard things and hard trouble sometimes. Sometimes it looks like it's just too hard to bear. But you got to bear it anyhow. Because he said he's with you. If you notice, I think you said you was at the funeral.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember me saying in the word that how people just pray and pray and pray and they seem like they can't get no hearing from God?
Yes, sir.
And would you hear me quote the scripture about Jesus when he went to the Garden of Gethsemane? And he prayed so hard that drops of blood, drops of sweat rolled off him like blood. And then he said in a different language, but he said, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? He thought God done forsaken him. We feel the same way when we pray and pray and nothing happens. Trouble just keep on coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It just keeps right on coming. No matter how hard we pray and how hard we try, it just keeps on coming. But don't give up.
Yes, sir.
When you give up, you quit. And a quitter never wins. And a winner never quit. You got to keep on trusting in God. Right at the last moment, God can change things. And this is what's going to happen here in the days to come. Because he said in the word, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in these last days. They're going to be doing the same thing they were doing then. They didn't believe. They were drinking and doing everything, married, giving in marriage, whoremongering and everything else. They'll be doing the same thing. When he comes, it'll be too late.
Right.
So we have to be obedient, put our trust in God, whether we want to or not. Treat everybody like you want to be treated. Your neighbor, even they may kick you in the pants, and I've had a whole lot of that.
Right.
But don't you try to fight back. The Lord said he'll fight your battle. And he will. You might get away with it right now, but you ain't going to get away long because it's coming up again. So we have to be obedient and stay with the Lord. Wait on him. And the word says, I said wait on the Lord. Ain't that what it said, Curtis? Mm-hmm. All right.
Right.
Mr. Hatch, how are you? Good. So, can you tell me where you were born? What state were you born in?
Down in Texas.
In Texas?
Texas. Louisiana. Everybody born in Louisiana. They actually together.
Okay. And was that 1898?
1898. Mm-hmm.
So that makes you 115?
That's almost right.
Wow.
Might be 4 or 5 days different.
Oh man. So what is the secret to staying that old? How do you stay so young?
The head man runs that.
That's right. You remember Jim Crow?
The Jim Crow law?
Yeah.
That's when the white man had the road and you had to run.
Right.
That was the Jim Crow.
That's right. And can you tell me anything about any story you had with Jim Crow? Did you ever get in trouble?
Yeah, I know how to run. That's really my feet bad now. That white boy was crazy. That's that simple.
That simple, huh?
Yeah. That southern state was tough bad, man.
Yeah, so you worked as a mechanic?
Yeah, as a mechanic in Houston, Texas. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Cars, trucks, and a few home patches I could do.
What was it like being a black man in Texas?
You have to be what you could be and run like hell when they get behind you.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do know. Yeah.
Yeah, did they try to catch you, Daddy?
Oh, plenty of times.
Yeah.
But I got bullet enough to carry some smoke with me.
You carry some smoke?
And they go to smoke and I smoke back rebel.
I heard that.
And they turn around and go back to them.
They know how to leave you alone then, huh?
Yeah, they know how to leave that now. Hey, well, that's all out there. That nigga's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do.
That's what they said.
That nigga's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So were
Yeah.
you crazy?
No.
No.
I was having that sense to try to protect my own self.
Yep.
But
Great.
you know, you from down there, you know exactly what went wrong.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You told me one time they came to your father's house and the Klan wanted them to leave.
Well, that
And
wasn't
and you know what your father said? You
What?
told me, he said, I ain't gwine.
That's ain't going.
That's ain't gwine.
I know that was the correct statement. That's ain't going.
I ain't going.
And old Henry Hatch better make that to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened after that?
He should bought another place for you lost that. And that white boy had always just taking your property. You didn't do what we were. Oh, you know you can do that. I never did believe in that. Running your business, you know.
Did you ever have a gunfight with any of the other
Yeah,
white boys?
when I had to, getting ready to leave, I'd protect myself. Other than that, I didn't say it because I'm on to live. But if I expect to make it, and your train was on the way, and didn't know what was going on, I'd knock it down and get on the train.
What kind of gun do you use?
That's the way it was back in them days.
What kind of gun?
They don't want to make it, we were nothing. That's what they tried to force. Well, you heard all about it, you guys.
Tell me some more about it.
Pitiful.
One time you got away and went to Mexico.
Twice I got to Mexico, I tell you that. Well, that's right at the border. You got to have enough grip to slip around to the people, the white boy with the guns, and go across the border. He knows, and then you build yourself up, and then you surprise him with a shooting instrument.
What did you use? What kind of gun did you used to like?
Automatic, yeah.
A pistol?
You too, eh?
A pistol? You use the automatic?
Some of them automatics was good. That Smith & Wesson was a good gun. Same thing what you used to be.
That's right. Do you remember your mother?
Yeah, but the cards, the scale of what that white boy tell them did not do. All of them, not just mine, but everybody. That's how we all didn't get killed. It's just that bad. That was a hell of a place for us. It's like the different now. I haven't been there in 20 years. You're down there lately. How is it down south?
It's better now.
Much better.
It's better now. Yeah.
That's good.
But this was 1920.
Yeah, we knew how to get out of the way though, with your begging thing. Make that step there like white boys would. We but blow you down. The rest of them laugh at it. Oh, you know I know it.
So do you?
Then you turn around and protect yourself. That nigga crazy. That's what she said.
Yeah.
That's what.
So I was one of them crazy niggas. That's how I'm living now.
You say that again?
I was one of them crazy niggas. That's like I'm living now.
You said you looked at a pretty woman, she was white, and they didn't like that.
No, that's what hanging. You have to look at it. I told you about all that.
Yeah.
Well, we got tired of it and went through resistance kept you out quite a bit. Sometimes a couple of you died, but that hits the never fed in the butts.
I know that's right.
That you want to live. You mix today and die tomorrow. That's the way it was. We called hell, boy.
So only with black people you played.
I know. The black people have a little company now. But you had mix, wasn't no mix.
Oh, okay.
They didn't, I don't know why they was that shit, but they didn't mix play.
Yeah. Hey, Daddy.
They still use it in some places down there, though. Black boys can't play with that white boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to see the world try to shape itself.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been down there. That's my home, but I've been there a long time. When the last time you was
Do you
there?
have any brothers?
Huh?
Do you have any brothers?
I'm not living there. A lot of them had more guts than I had. They lived long. That white boys was just ignorant back in them days, man.
Well, I'm sorry?
That's the white boy. He didn't think you were nothing.
Do you remember Malcolm X?
Yeah.
What do you think of him?
Huh?
What do you think of Malcolm X?
I think Malcolm didn't have some few spots that he stepped on. If you tell him level all the way through, he would register more. Other than that, he was a good man.
He had a few spots that he skipped on.
Uh-huh.
Adam, he hid his sin with the lead.
No, he didn't.
Well, what make him feel believe?
He was ashamed. You don't even much know when you sin now, but Adam know it because he was a righteous man. You born in sin. You used to what you're doing, but Adam wasn't used to that, you see.
I was raised around the town about 2 miles of Faulkner on the farm, Dupree Farm. And it was my life then helping people, fixing my yams, taking it to them, food, and so on, like that, on up, every year, and finally my mother stopped farming. We moved right in the little town of Faulkner. And I served 15 years with Eden Kane, his wife named Daisy, and so on. I served there and was married there twice. And my last husband, I went to work where he was working at with Dr. Dennis Moore for 15. I still was making my years and helping him out with his medicine, all in any kind of sickness. I always did. And all I made and fixed and rubbing and pneumonia and dropsy and 19 and 18, the influenza, when it begun, I toted my tea and so on. The Lord just let it work. And it's been working. I've been doing it all my life and on up until now. They have found where some of my years have healed many dangerous things, diseases, complaints, and arthritis, and sugar, and bright kidney disease, and roach of a liver, and so on. And that's the story that they's telling. I get calls and they comes and get my yells, the biggest one that raised here on my yard. And they tell the story that it's hitting them. And I get mighty good use. I've got mighty good use from some of the different doctors that don't know anything about my life. But this life of mine, I was told I was a little bitty girl. 6 years old, my daddy took me to the Silver Spring. And I got 14, I went myself. So it's just my life. I always did it. And they always used it. They used my food. They used my popcorn. They used my corn come out in the barn. They used anything that I served them with. Never denied. Just never denied anything. And people's doctor, with the doctor's help, with the yells. They just doctored it with these same yells, mullein and rabbitback and hard leaves and red shank and so on, right? All that kind of yell, and it healed it. It helped it then. Well, the water was more purified than it is now. The water was well water and pump water, and that was iron. That was pure iron. And the food, vegetables, iron spiders, iron pots, stone bowls, wooden trays, and they had no ice box much. The baby's milk, I have tied it string to a jar and let it down in the well to keep it for the babies. It didn't sour. Yellow meats and so on. You have your food, barbecue and so on, and you get a coal out of your half of your stove and lay around in the bowl. You could keep it till Tuesday. And ice, you'd buy this block of ice, the ice truck would come along. And you'd bake it in the ground and sprinkle some salt over it and wrap it up in brown paper and bake it in the ground and go cut you off some if you wanted it. And well, that's our food, and chickens and hogs and everything. They were raised different. The food from them was better than the food we eat now. And I think it's just poison. And you know these pipes be running up and down here. And my zinc, I work hard in there this morning to clean it. And that rust, if it drip on anything, there ain't nothing to get out. Well, why and how do it settle inside your liver and your intestines and your kidneys and your bladder and blood and so on? And I just think that. But the Lord said it. And the word is true. He said for the end that there would be diseases that no doctors couldn't comprehend. And he said that way had been, it would be again. So I get calls different from you all, been doing it. Back in my back life, cooking and yells. So that's the Bible going back to what he said. And we read in what he said. All these different kinds of diseases and all these different kinds of minds killing themselves and their whole family and all that, his word. So that's where I live at, and that's where I believe, the Bible. Because he said his word would not fail. For it would, heaven and earth would pass away, so that's just it. We're eating and living in death, poison. What has it done to your blood and just everything? Your nerves and just everything. It sure ain't done it no good. Ain't done nothing but this. Harm it, but that's what the Lord said. We would run in contact with. And I don't know, I must say myself, I was born with it because I always did it, just as far back as I can remember. A real old man. I stole my mother's, they call it pigging, mullets, salt mullets come packed up in it. And I had slipped it, I know I carried it first from here uptown, and boiled mullein, and wasn't hardly able to lift up his leg and put in there. And his feet and legs had busted open with the water drapsy. But it healed it then. It healed his leg. then. He had a daughter and a granddaughter, and they had to work. And the same month, July, bunching cotton. The leg busted open, and so I just always did it. And nobody never denied using nothing that I ought to do for them, white or color. My yells, I could rub them, make my grease, and cook my food, and they would eat that with a plenty. They had a plenty of food. They just taste on it. It worked just like any other medicine. We come from the pure medical education, doctors. It just work all over your body, and God just get in it and just let it help. And it's just right plain. A lot of it grow right round here, in my yard. Different that you can buy it, and you pay for it. Catnip, green sage, you can buy sage, put in your backbone, put in your food. They don't even do that now. Garlic and all that, where you season your food with back in them days. You don't use that anymore. See, that's got a whole lot to just do with you. Whatever you eat, it's just feeding everything that's about you. It just feeds you. Blood, nerves, system, strength, just everything. So diseases the way it is now, I don't know nothing else but just that. We just eating our diseases and drinking it. The heat that cooks our food, all that's poison. You make your biscuits, your cake, or whatsoever, and put in that stove, and you smell that scent time you open it. It's in your food. When you was cooking with wood, kerosene was quite better than this gas and electric and all that stuff that we was eating and smelling. And this in the deep freezer and in the cabinator, you put in hot grease, whatever you frying, steak or so on. And time it hit it, and you go to bite it, and about all under come off in your mouth, and the bone, if there's bone in it, is blue, black, bloodshot. It's done frozen rotten. Now that's just the way it is, and I know you all have hadn't eaten it, seen it like that. Hadn't it? Watch it if you happen. That's the way it is. And these here pipes, all these here pipes, it's not iron, like the old pump pipes. And then it's a well, it's drawed it, fresh water, just like y'all took me from that spring, purified water right out of the ground. But this come and they put something in it, they tell me I don't know that, and them old nasty pipes. There's a sight when you take up them little pipes then run a stick in there and see that rust and it roping like an okra, and you drink nothing. What do you think about that? What is it? That's what it is. You know whatever go inside of you, it goes all over you. It searches you. I get calls and they comes and get my yells, the biggest on it, raised here on my yard. That's house ready.
Go over and get a piece for us and show us what you do.
House ready. Now you can use this anyway, any kind of way you want to. You can lay it on you for a fever, just anywhere, your chest or your head, shoulder, anywhere the fever is. And I have for high blood. I have put it right up there in a little Epsom salt and a little white vinegar in your blood just like that. No, I ain't known it to fail. I just ain't known it to fail. And this leaf, there was a house right back there, and Dr. Beasley was our doctor here. And they sent some of everything they could send off for that boys and couldn't find out what kind of fever he had, and this right by itself in vinegar made this fever less than a half a day. 'Twas in the dinner time. And you couldn't hardly tell that boy was breathing. He just had a something around the navel. I just wet him in vinegar and laid all over his stomach and all back there in vinegar. And it was in the dinner time, and it was in this month, putting in back. And that evening, I didn't watch the time, but it was a long time before night, he told his mom he was ready to eat. And he hadn't got nothing in him that week. Just this, plain by itself. But You know, they don't popping us with it. It don't take nothing but Jesus. And I don't talk about it unless I'm talking to him about it too. I can stand right here and talk to you just like this till night. And there be something else talking in me to the powerhouse, Jesus. Because everything we made, he made it. He put life and power and everything. The grit of the earth, the air, the wind and everything, it belonged to him.
Clarksdale, Mississippi,
And what year were you born?
1916.
A lot of these kids are born in like 90s, 2000s, and they live in the city. So what is it like growing up in Clarksdale?
I grew up on a plantation. The name of the plantation was Kane and Anderson Plantation. In the country, we was living on a white man's farm.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents raised cotton and corn. And we had to always go out in the field and chop it, get the grass from around it. When the cotton got old enough, we get cotton.
Was it easy on your hands? Was it hard work?
It was hard on your hand because you had to go into the bowl.
Uh-huh.
A lot of time the bowl wouldn't be out open far enough. And every time you put your hand in there, you got stuck all around your fingers.
Oh, like thorns?
Yeah, you got like a thorn bush or something like that. But my grandfather didn't make no money because at the end of the settlement, he said, "Well, George, Sam, you did pretty good, but you still owe us $500."
At the end of what?
The season of picking cotton.
Oh. So you would get a sack of cotton and get a few quarters.
It was 50 cents a 100.
For 100 what? 100 pounds?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
50 cents a 100.
That's a lot of cotton.
Bent over all day in the field. Pick on this side and pick on this side.
How many people were working on the plantation?
Oh my God. It's so many I can't even tell you.
Like 100? More.
More than 100. You know what a plantation is? It's like a city.
Oh wow.
I came to Chicago to better my condition.
Why Chicago?
Well, at the time, you know, when you're young and people has radio, wasn't no television out those days, but a lot of people had radio, and a lot of times they would tell about the news and the weather between Memphis and Chicago and different little towns that you hear about, and then you would know about these different little towns.
Oh, okay. So you heard about it through the radio.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself as an American?
Yeah, I am American.
You are American?
Yeah. I consider myself a colored person.
A colored person?
Yeah. A colored person, a colored human being.
Did they call everyone colored?
They called us colored people.
Okay. When did they switch over from colored people to black people?
Well, they just, you know, to tell you the truth, they just started calling people black, I guess, because there was a lot of African people in the United States back in those days.
There was Africans, and then there was Americans?
Yeah.
And they spoke a different language?
Oh, yeah, because you couldn't understand the language.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
No.
So on a plantation, you'd have Americans, and then you'd have Africans.
Uh-huh.
Would you say there's been a lot of change and progress for people of color?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You want to know why? The white man. The white men didn't respect the colored man, and he would go with his wife and get babies. There's a lot of colored women that got pregnant from white men.
Oh.
And keep the whole plantation from knowing that the baby is white. They send it up north, they call it.
Up north where?
Here.
Here to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
If your baby
You don't mind Mississippi.
get him out? Why?
Well, it's amongst the colored women, it was a disgrace. It was shame for a white man to want to get baby by colored women. And that's why you find so many colored people that you call is very light skinned. In the South, they used to call them mulatto.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. If you was riding a bus and the white people rode it too, and there was a lady got on, she was pregnant. So wasn't nobody sitting in that seat. And she sat down. When the white man got on the bus, he told her she had to go in the back and sit. I wish it had been I was sitting down with a colored man. He said, hey, you better be quiet. I said, that's what's wrong with the world now, you're too damn quiet. You know, if I had education, I would have been dead a long time ago.
Why do you say that?
Because I can't stand white people's way they used to treat colored people. And there's a rule, they say, it's only 2 people in the world free. That's a colored woman and a white man. They're the only 2 people. That white woman is not free. She's not, no.
Why do you say that?
Because she can't go out with no colored man. The first thing they do, they hang him.
So are you proud of the progress that we've made?
Oh, you better believe it. You better believe it. I am one of them.
What kind of food do you eat?
Number 1, I have to have my greens. Turnip greens, mustard greens, cabbage greens, spinach, whatever. My bowels won't do right if I don't have my greens.
Okay.
That's
so
right.
Greens.
I have to have them greens. Mary Louise, my granddaughter, she's a green eater. Same thing with her. She have to have her green.
Do you drink?
Never.
Yeah, you do drink.
Beer.
Beer, yes.
I don't drink alcohol.
Oh, okay. Why?
I tried it one time. I got drunk off of it. It went to my head, and I was acting silly and stupid, and I stopped.
Any words of encouragement? Do you have any words of encouragement?
If I need money to help take care of myself, if I saw means of somebody tearing up the bricks out there and making them nice so they can use them again, I'll join them. Because I like to be paid so I can have money to help myself.
What is the secret to staying youthful? You're 100 years old. You don't look 100.
The only thing I can tell anybody is that I try to treat everybody nice. And I'd like for you to treat me like I treat you. Be nice to me, be kind. You want to do something real smart with your life. You want to live a good life, like other people that you have saw around you. Work and save some of your money and spend some. That's the way I do.
What advice do you have for young people of color?
When you have a child, a baby, it starts when it's born. To teach that child. And he'll never get away from his raising. Continue to teach him all the way up. No, be nice. You can't get away with that. You got to have the guts to control your tempers and everything else. I ain't gonna let nobody run over me, even not now. You treat me like I treat you, and that's a human being. You look in my eyes, you don't see me scared at the kids, you don't see me scared.
And other elders. I didn't go around. There's a lot of them would, if you wasn't on the parents, they wouldn't listen to that. They wouldn't hear you, and they'd get in, talk all kind of talk to you, and talk back and say it. And go. I've never did that.
Number 1, our society shuts us off. They don't want to accept us because we are psychics. They always feel that you're weird, you're an oddball, that you're somebody that creeped up out of the rug when you least expect them. But I always find it easy to get into the door when people know me as Lillian and not as a psychic. Then these things happen. I want people to know that this is so real, that I didn't study, I didn't go into this because it was my choice. Someone chosen to give me this gift long before I knew there was such a thing as a gift.
When did you first know you had a gift?
Well, I can think the very first time, I think it was about the age of 7 or 8. When that time I was really involved in a lot of social work in the Sunday school. And I have to say it was social because at that time, being a child, could not be nothing else but a lot of fun. And it was fun to me. But the most striking event happened when I was 15. And that particular morning, I didn't want to go to school. And my mother insisted I go that day. And I told her why I didn't want to go to school. I told her that I was going to be caught in an accident and I didn't want to get hurt. And she felt that I was making this story up. Because all during those years, I had a habit of visualizing anything that I wanted to see or do, and I dramatized it, you know. So she figured it was one of my little things I was going through. And she insisted I go to school. And she gave me some car fare. And I was reared in a family that if you had a lie to tell, you better not tell it. So I took the money and I rode to school. And just as I was ready to step up on the curb, if anyone is familiar with Philadelphia, at 46 in Cheston, in that vicinity, I was hit by a truck.
But obedience, obedience is when you're obedient to your parents and to your elders, God recognizes that. And he said, if you be disobedient to your parents, your days will be shortened. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Is that what it said, but your days will be short. So, but I really wasn't going, but I was being obedient because I wanted to stay in good standing with my parents.
Right, okay.
And sometimes when I turn on that television and I listen to these preachers, they are saying my stuff word for word, not giving me credit, but you know, I get my credit from God. The Father that sees in secret rewards me openly.
They have no respect anymore for the Lord's table or for the parents either.
Right.
It's many times I've watched some people that come, we go out somewhere to eat, and then they get to lunch and they start eating, they never take time to say thank you or give God the glory for the food that they're eating. They just start eating. We always, we better do this here, but when we take a bite, you better get rid of it. Because you're going to say that blessing, don't you going to get, you won't eat or else you'll get knocked down from that table.
Right. Right.
So
okay.
you're going to give God the credit and give him the glory for the food.
Okay.
But they don't even do that anymore. They've stopped that in a lot of places. Now, some do, some don't.
Right.
But a lot of it they've stopped, and a lot of it they just don't have. And even we had prayer. We go to school. At prayer in the morning, the Lord prayer, you're going to say that Lord prayer, you get that. But they finally stopped that too. They finally stopped you from saying the prayer in school.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't teach it at home and you don't get it at home, you get it. Tell them you're going to get it out there because they don't do it anymore.
He said, when you pray, say, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Now listen, thy kingdom. You're not saying it with command. Come, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. Where? On earth. The truth is, we are to call heaven down. And yet the church and the preachers in Christianity have had us going through hell trying to get to heaven. Call heaven down right here in this church. Call heaven down in your home. Call heaven down on your job. Whenever hell jumps up, call heaven down. It's just the reverse of what we've been taught.
Now, don't misunderstand me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is one thing that my dad always told me. In time when time was hard, he said, in all the good, there's some bad. And of all the bad, that is something good. Now, what I'm going to say, back then when our crop was bad, sometimes you raise, sometimes you have a good crop and get a whole lot of stuff, and sometimes you don't. Depends on your weather, your heat, and all that to burn up the crops and everything, But them old white women come out there, them old dresses way down there, and have on them bonnets and stuff, and they're a big old apron. And if they have a good crop now, when they get through picking beans and peas and bring them down to the black folk, boy, you could go ahead and eat and be merry, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was some, above all the evil, there was some good.
Right.
So it kind of worked both ways, but it's mostly one-sided, but sometimes it'll work the other way.
Right.
And it would mostly be on the women's side. They'd always have a soft feeling for the black folk. Cause I've had them, they come in there sometime, they be eating it all, and one of them, sometimes the men will say, hey boy, he called you boy, come on up and get that chair, sit down over there, you get me up to the table and eat. Otherwise I have to get back out, and eat outside or eat, somewhere else.
Wow.
But they'd say, come on up here and eat every once in a while.
Right.
But I was mountable, and I was obedient. I was taught to be that way to anybody, because I'd get all the bark tore off my backside if I didn't.
Right.
So that's the way I come up that way, and I was taught that way, and I tried to live that way until I got grown and I could do what I wanted to do.
Right.
Yeah, when you get grown, you think you're bad then,
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you this:
It seems that in his travelings around in the country, he had occasion to work for some people who were following this ancient science. Incidentally, they were cattle raisers or milk cow raisers. And it seems that at this particular time, there was quite a bit of danger as I understand it, of underland fever. It was found later that this came from the milk of the cows. And it appears that these people who were milk producers were following the stars, and they were milking the cows at a certain time in the evening, and that they were following the phases of the moon. And upon my father's question, they told him that it was the science of astrology that enabled them to get the milk at the proper time, and also they were pasteurizing it before anyone in the country were actually doing this, boiling the milk to more or less kill the bacteria. And so he sort of picked up a primary knowledge of astrology while working for these people, because I questioned him about it when he told me that I should study astrology. Heretofore, this knowledge has been kept hidden, as I referred to before, by the possessors of it. For instance, the world's greatest and most valuable collection of books on astrology is in the Vatican. And it's known among all astrologers that the Pope and the cardinals and these people are master astrologers.
Well, why don't they teach Catholics if they're master astrologers?
It is an occult science, as I said before, and occult means hidden. So therefore, in keeping with the occult laws, they have kept it hidden. For instance, in this country, for years, the definition of astrology was a pseudoscience. They sort of set up a type of dispute around this science. That is, to keep others from knowing what they were doing. You see, originally this science was originated by the priest. It is commonly known by modern astrologers who say that the sign Pisces rules the black people. This is a tragic and erroneous statement, because Pisces, as everybody knows, is a state of grace. It's a sign of regret, self-undoing, and sorrow, tears. And this might be one of the reasons that they have assigned this sign to the black people. All people have a sign assigned to them according to their native characteristics. However, I would like to clear that up and tell you that every location on earth has a particular sign designation in accordance with the celestial arrangement of the heavens. Therefore, Cancer, ruling the area between the 40th south and 40th north location on earth.
Longitude and latitude?
This is the latitude, going around the belt or the waist of the earth, is under the sign of Cancer. And everybody knows that the so-called black man had his origin there. So consequently, he comes under the sign of Cancer. Therefore, the moon is his star to follow. It is the only star in the heavens that has no light of its own. It shines with the reflective light. It reflects the light of the sun. The moon is known as being rather mystical, sensitive, changeable, mutable, that is, taking on the characteristics of anything that it comes in contact with. It is known to have rather psychic powers. This meaning an interfeeling or sensitivity to things that are happening or things that are to come. It also rules the water as a mineral, or one of the principal elements that make up our universe. So this sign, therefore, I'd like to clarify today, is the sign which rules the black people.
All right, if we are the things that you say, sensitive people.
Satan has got their mind all twisted up. They think they can do all this and get by. You might get by for a while, but you don't get away because it's coming up again.
Wow.
It's coming up again. You reap what you sow. And there's a whole bunch of thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not, all down in well, it's all over the Bible. But in the book of Deuteronomy, right. Thou shalt not steal, kill, all that's in there. And once you step into that category and start doing that, you got a whooping coming. Don't know how you're going to get it or where you're going to get it, when you're going to get it, but you're going to get it. So you might as well get ready, because once you step out, until you repent and go back, just like I was preaching on your daughter or your uncle,
my Uncle Butch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They told me he believed in God. Well, if you believe, you can make it. If you believe, and you got to believe it from your heart, and mean it and be for real, and God will save you if you ask Him.
Right.
You got to ask Him.
Now, St. Simon, it's a place with woods, river on one side, beach on the other side, and woods in between, different roads, and the old fort, and the old Spanish moss that hangs on the tree that, drip down. Look like the wind blow, look like it's blowing a blanket or something, It is a beautiful place to live. And I think that it's one of the most wonderful places in the world.
Let King Pharaoh overtake you. Moses, don't you let King Pharaoh overtake you. Oh, Moses, don't you let
Repent means to go back and ask God to forgive you.
Okay. Okay.
For your wrongdoing, whatever it is or whatever it was. That don't make no difference if it's adultery, robbery, whatever it is. You can get repentant if you go and ask God. Because in the book of John, it says, if you confess your sins, I'm faithful and just to forgive you your sins and to cleanse you from all unrighteousness. It didn't say some of it now, it said all.
Right.
All unrighteousness. So that's what you got to do. And it ain't no hard job. It's hard for somebody because they don't want to do it. They want to live like they want to live. But if you truly want God and want to, you go and ask for forgiveness. And you know what else it said? If any man will come to him, he'll in no wise cast him out. Ain't that what it said, Kay?
Yes.
And you sleep?
No, I'm ready.
Okay. That's what you help me if I get wrong now.
Yeah.
But he said, if any man, that means anybody, you, me, you, Dago, or whoever. Well, it said over in Luke, it makes no difference between the Jew and the Greek. The same God is rich unto all that call upon his name. So that means that you can call him, you ask him, and you got it. You ask him. And just one thing you do, just be for real and you ask him. Be for real. Have your mind made up what you're going to do. I'm going to serve him, or I'm going to have serve him and get punished.
Right.
You understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What does it mean to go down in the mire? Well, now that means that humble your heart, humble yourself to the Lord. That's the muck of sin which your heart or your mind are all, contaminated in. And then when God pull you out of that, then you can be free and shout down.
That's right. That's the Bible. And you clap your hands.
It's a holy dance. So it's not a noise with your hand. When you sing, you sing. And when you pray, you pray. And when you dance, you dance. But when you shout, you shout.
Bright star shining in glory, give me Jesus in the morning. Bright star shining in glory, give me Jesus in the morning. Jesus been down to the light. Jesus been down to the light. Honor Jesus in the light. You must come down to the light.
But it wasn't no, it just, it's amazing how God works and how he works through people.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't no accident that you got in touch with me for this here.
Yeah.
It's something that God wants you to see and he wants you to know.
Yeah. Nah, man, it's so much. Much like.
And I'm thankful.
Yeah.
Because, look, I could tell you a whole lot. We ain't got time. I can't tell it all.
Right, for sure.
But I went through some things. It's been a hard, well, I'll say it's a tight fight with a short stick. I went through it. I raised 8 kids.
Right.
But that's not that's just the starting of it. I got.
Says again, you shall know the truth. Then the truth sets you free. The devil is the negative side of God. The devil is not an other. Bishop Jordan said that God is all, and all means that there's nothing else. And I wonder at the theologians, you know, because I went to the theological seminary too. And they teach us all of the attributes of God. God is omnipresent. Omni meaning what? All. There can't be but one omni. God is omnipotent. All power. There can't be but one all power. Listen to what Jesus said. All power in heaven and in earth is given unto me. Then the theologians grabbed us and robbed us of it again. Who is the all power in heaven and earth given unto? Unto the mind which knows his or her divine oneship/sonship. My source and I are one. My origin and I are one. On the highest level of I am God and there is no other, the eternal spirit was lonely. And there are certain things that even Almighty God could not do except in, as, and through you. He could not build this material cathedral. He needed up there materially. And so he decided to incarnate himself in this man. And to do it through him as his son. The Father, the invisible Spirit, is in heaven, meaning the higher realms of vibration. But the same one is you at the point of you. Not a different one. I am God and there is no other. Thou shalt have no other gods beside me or before me. And don't put any behind me.
To do, he got in trouble. I went and got my daughter and I brought her home. But when she left, she had 2. When she come back, she had 5.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
That's more mouths for me to feed.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
So, I'm gonna have to help them.
Mm-hmm.
So that you got to get out there and get it. And that's what I done. But they say, oh, they grown. Yeah, they grown, but they hit a rock in a hard place. And that many times people do that. And you go and help them, and you help them, and you help them, and they'll show you your backside of their tail every time. But the Lord said, don't fight back with them. Just leave them alone. That's the reason why I can say I thank God, because I prosper. I don't, my own kids. Some of them, you raise them, you hope them, you raise them, you clothe them, you fed them, you wipe their tails and all this there. And some of them even turn their back on you. But you know what? As Lord, you help them.
Right.
Because see, if I want to help them, I want to get me something to go to work on it. You think about what you done went through and what all this here, you think about getting you a club and go to work on that backside.
Right.
But he said, pray for them.
Right. Right.
Pray that the Lord will see what you're seeing, that they will see the light and come to themselves and repent. And when you do that, that stars in your crown.
Right.
So because you hope them by you did better by going on and just let them alone. Don't fight with them. Don't let them alone. God will take care of them. And when they hit a rock in a hard place, they're gonna think about that. Well, Uncle so and so did something to save me, and they all look at it. God will bring it home to you.
Mm-hmm.
He'll let you know about it. He'll make you remember things you done forgot about years ago.
Man. No, you right. You right, Pastor. I can't keep you all day, man, so this is gonna be my last question.
Uh-oh, now this is way off. You see, you command both God and the devil. Now here is where it's way off. They are both the same one. What is the devil? The devil is your ignorance of God. That's what the devil is, ignorance. Self-ignorance. The devil is what you do to yourself not knowing that you're doing it. What does the Bible say? Thou art ensnared, how? By the words of thy mouth. Oh my. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Maybe I can get back on the money subject for a moment, but that's good. There's a lot of folks say, well, you're the devil, just won't let me have no money. That's something, now let me make the sign of the cross on that. That's where I get Catholic, you see. No, that's because in your ignorance you've given him power over your money.
I'll say what I'll be talking about. You got to give it up. You got to repent. You got to come together. You got to come and do as God would have you to do. You've got children against the parents, parents against the children, nations against nations. It's dog eat dog nearly everywhere you go. All your presidents and all our high authorities. Do you know God gives them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding how to lead and take care of this nation? That's what they do. That's what they call for.
Right.
But they going the other way. They taking briberies and everything else, you know, and they destroying folks. Well, see, they got the answer for it.
Right.
It's like that dude over there that killed all them million babies over there.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, he got the answer for it. His payday is coming. So we're going to have to get ready. You might as well get ready for it. His payday is coming. And God has given us all a chance.
Right.
As I said to you a while ago, as it was in the day of Noah, so shall it be in the last day. They'll be running and jumping and everything trying to get there, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be hard. But if they'll start while it's time, and I got a message I'll use maybe when I get a chance to speak somewhere, preparing for war in the time of peace. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to
All right,
follow.
listen, let me bring it home to you.
Yes, sir.
If I know I got a fight coming over here, I'm going to prepare and get ready for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get ready to take care of my enemy because I want to take him down, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. If I wait until that enemy comes to start getting ready, I might not can make it. Do you follow me?
Yes, sir.
But if I start now, if I start right now, working on it, by the time when they get ready, well, I'm ready too.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to prepare while everything is going well. Here's what's wrong with our nation today. Everybody's doing good. God has done blessed them better than blessed. You got homes, you got money, you got automobiles, you got everything, and you're just doing everything you think you ought to do, think you want to do. But God is looking. You see? Well, I don't need that. I got so and so. I got a pocket full of money. I got this and I got that. But God can knock it out, just a twinkle of an eye. He can take it away from you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Disobedience will cause you to lose out. And God can take it just like He give it. And when He comes again, those that think they got it made, all that they done taken away from everybody else and stole from these other nations and other countries and all, it's going to be given back. They got to give it up. All those riches, like when we come along, we was in slavery and all this here, you got to give it up. We had people that, you know, that you didn't have no home, no place to stay, no this and that. When they broke up the slavery, they got it out, and supposed to give the black folks, $40 in a mule or something.
40 acres in a mule. Yes,
40
sir.
acres in a mule. That's what it was. 40 acres in a mule.
Yes, sir.
Some of them didn't even get the mule. But we got a lot of trouble. But God's going to see you. You're going to get it. Just like the Israelite people. God had given them everything. You know, they didn't have to want for nothing. But they didn't have to want for nothing. But they disobeyed God. They refused to believe. They refused to follow the leader. And God took it all away from them. But He's going to give it back.
Wow. God
gives us all a chance. Just like He did Jezebel. Jezebel was one of the biggest. Jezebel was something else. She was a whore.
Right.
But she caused a lot of men to error. And God left a little space. When he got the rest of them, He left a little space in there for Jezebel. You know what that space was for?
What's that?
Repentance.
Right.
To repent. I'm giving you faith to repent. And all you got to do is ask. All you got to do is ask. She didn't repent. So she was lost. But anyway, we can sit up here and talk all night.
You see, I am is divine principle. I am is divine self-awareness. I am is divine self-consciousness. It'll seep in overnight.
Know if there's going to be a depression in the near future, making 1929 look like prosperity.
Thank you. Ms. Cosby, you want to try first?
Let me say this. A situation is going to come about where we're going to be deprived of the things that we've been accustomed to in the past 20 years. But I cannot say that we're going to jump out of buildings, because I think we got our heads together a little better this time. And we know that if we're going to be deprived of certain elements or certain foods, we're not going to starve. We're not in that bad of a state. But things is in very bad shape, I will admit that. Like I said to you before, the energy crisis that we're undergoing and going through now, that's a fraud to a certain extent. Let me emphasize that point. Also, what I mean is that someone is getting rich because we're not getting our fuel, and those who selling fuel to us is raising the prices beyond control. And of course, I understand tonight our president put a ceiling on it, which is not helping us too much. But the point is, we're not freezing, and we won't freeze, because you notice, and later on this year, that the energy crisis as far as fuel is concerned will subside. But our friend, I should say, is causing us a lot of problems. That's Caldera in the foreign country somewhere, if I can think in my mind where he's coming from. Do you know that name I'm talking about? C-A-L-D-E-R-A. It comes to me loud and clear. He's negotiating and causing a lot of problems for our nation here. Now, as far as food is concerned, there will be a shortage of food. Just like a couple of years ago, a year or so ago, they said there was no steak, no beef, but we didn't starve. So believe me, I do not strongly feel that we will have a depression like the 29s who jumped out of buildings because we didn't have money to, but now we're more stable in our minds.
Speaking of money, now it's no secret that the American dollar bill is increasingly worth less.
Right.
What do you see about the stability of the American currency on the world market?
Very bad. Everything's a piece of paper, IOU. Nobody gets paid. If you notice that all of a sudden everybody can get credit cards. And it's just a matter, it's like a revolving machine. It's just going over and over. Nobody gets paid, nobody has any money, but we are able to substantiate ourselves. We're not completely poor, but as a nation, we're not number one anymore, because we sold all our resources to another country, and they're seeing top dog right now, and this was causing our problem.
Okay. All right.
If I might add just a little something to that. Indeed, we are facing a depression which will make the 29 depression seem pale in comparison. And it is because of the very reason of which you and Mr. Brown has spoken of, is the worthlessness of the money, the currency. Indeed, we shall face the prospect, as the stars indicate, of having to use scrip, red or pink scrip with purple writing on it. This is very clear in the stars. And insofar as a depression, we are definitely in a depression at this time.
Yes,
and will be that. So perhaps into the 20s or the year 2000.
All right. Young Black Journal, go ahead, please.
I'd like to know what relevancy do these UFO and flying saucers have with like current events in the near future?
Thank you so much. Ms. Cosby, why don't you try that first? Then you, Mr. Love.
Well, I can't answer that analytically. I have to answer it psychically. We're going to have more of those UFOs and people that we can't understand or we can't distinguish as if they appear to us that they're human beings, or invisible people will appear more the next 2 or 3 years. I hope that answers his question. Perhaps Mr. Love can do better.
Well, perhaps not better. And my point of reference being the heavens.
What about the planet Kahutek? How do you see that influence on the world affairs?
That is a comet. And I concur with the traditional meaning of a comet, heralding pestilence, disruptions, things in the earth.
That's the effect of Kahutek?
The change, yes.
What parts of the earth do you see
definitely
affecting?
It is definitely affecting the earth but it does not affect individuals, it affects mankind collectively. That is one of the reasons as to why we are experiencing the phenomenons of UFOs and all sorts of apparitions. That is because the collective unconscious mind is being activated by the disturbance or the perturbations in the magnetic fields which constitutes the solar system in which we dwell.
Okay. Thank you. The last part was, and if the Bible does say that this would indicate we're at the end of things, is it true that we are now at the end of the system as we know it?
Yes, very much so. The system that we've been accustomed to is petering out. And I will admit, like I said before, it's a master plan. And it has been a master plan for some time. I'm going to step out on the limb when I say this. We may call it we're under communistic order or laws or whatever, or under dictatorship, but it seems dignified, but it's coming to an end.
You have anything in that area, Jertha?
Yes, if I might, I would like to read something that I have found in the stars, and it sort of coincides, perhaps going just a trifle farther than Ms. Cosby has went. It seems that economic injustices are created by greed and the profit motive. Competition does not work for the good of humanity and the profit, even though it's been going on since the beginning of time, but also wars. And only cooperation between the brothers and sisters in sharing the produce of the land from equal labor can bring the needed balance. This is what we need to do, is go back to the land, because we certainly face tiresome times. As it is stated in the Bible, the earth is the Lord's, and much of our economic trouble today is because of the land speculators, which has led to inflation. And we should, with all sincerity, examine the Henry George economic theory.
There's one other thing that I want to say, that our universities and our colleges would incorporate this psychic phenomena sciences. I have to put it to them like that because that's the only way they could maybe deal with it. Those who have open minds understand where I'm coming from. My ability and astrology and the sciences in that field would be one of the things that would be on their curriculum, where our children growing up, when I was a child, I didn't have the opportunity for someone to converse with me and talk to me intelligently about my ability. But now it will happen. So the children who come into this world today, the children that's growing up today, they won't be shy about talking about their feelings and things they see. Also, people's been panicking about no work. Yes, I do see a lot of strikes all over the nation, a lot of unemployment, but there's going to be a lot of benefits for the unemployment and those who are on relief. Also, I see the people who have been college trained may not be able to get jobs, but they're going to do things like do-it-yourself or go in business for themselves on such a scale of performing services. So things are not as bad as people anticipate, and they seems to be.
Oh, day, yana come day. Oh, day, yana come day. Oh, day, yana come day. Then I drove in my door. Yana come day. Oh, yana come day. Oh, yana come day. Oh, yana come day. Then I drove in my door. Yana come day. Oh, yana come day. Oh, yana come day. Oh, yana come day. Then I drove in my door. Yana come day. Oh, yana come day. Oh, yana come day. Oh, yana come day. Then I drove in my door. Yana come day. Come on, Jack. Oh, yana come day. Come on, Jack. Oh, yana come day. Oh, yana come day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Pastor Barry, I really appreciate you giving me some of your time, man. You know, hopefully at a later date in the future, we can maybe do this again, maybe without the camera.
Yeah, because there's a whole lot that you know, it's just, man, it's just so much that I could tell you, so many things. Like some things I could talk about, but I don't, you know.
Yes, sir.
And it needs telling.
Yes, sir, for sure.
Because the young folks don't know.
Yeah, that's my main goal, man, is
The young people don't know, and it's something that they need to know.
Yeah, my generation, we lost. I'm not gonna lie, and the one under us is even more lost. But man,
They are even more lost if they don't turn
to
the Lord.
Yes, sir. That's my takeaway from this whole sit down. My whole takeaway is, man, I think I need to be. I know it don't happen overnight, but I think I need to be in somebody's church Sunday.
Yes, sir. You need to be there. You need to be there. And with this, what you're doing right now, it will help a whole lot of folks. Just like you said, I hope you so much tonight. Just think what you could do to somebody else. You see, this message, this is what we talk. It goes on. It don't just stop here.
Right.
It just keeps on going.
Right.
On and so you can help a lot of folks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I did do you know Nelson Kelly?
No, I don't.
You know, his church over every year. I don't know about this year. I'm getting older and everything. I don't know, but I do Black History Fair.
Okay. I want to go over there.
And this year, I did Black History back. We don't know when was it, February. Yeah. Well, I did Black History on the last Sunday over there, and I do it every year. And you know what he tell me?
What's that?
You just come on. You are Black History.
Right.
And he's right, because I am.
You are. You are. You done seen, man, in 99 years, I'm sure it ain't nothing you ain't seen.
No, man, there's a whole lot, I'll tell you.
Right. But, all right, we're going to go ahead and end it there. Rico's TV, man, we signing out. Love y'all. Let's go.
Okay.
Today's ceremony was dealing with regenerating forces that going under, that we all must go under to find things that we want to present outward. It's relating to the season. And in the psychic way, it would take you back where many metaphysical teachers teaches the rise of the psychic that must flows up from the Kundalini force upward, or the sexual force plays a big role in the psychic development. We pop a leg bar. As we come today with the burning of the universe at our side, giving all praise unto the oneness of the universe, which we are all connected, and all things flows from all direction to us. Today we are indeed grateful to be able to be here and to stand here and be able to lift our voices unto all forces, and to be able to proclaim the glory of that which we came from, which is our ancestors. And without the ancestors, there would be nothing. They all stand before us as we come into the world, and they all stand at the door when we go out.
In those days, they put this something down on the floor and they dance around it like the buzzer would dance around a cow or dead cow, a mule or something.
Well, that's the way they feel, see, according to how they were treated. You understand me? They felt that there was nothing but an old dead cow to throw away in the woods someplace. And then the buzzard would come around, you know, to pick up the cow. The angel was the buzzard that come pick up the soul out of the old cow.
Throw me anywhere, Lord, in that old field. 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 Don't care where you throw me, in that old field. Let's carry Jesus on me, in that old field. Don't care how you do me, in that old field.
We would work so long, we worked sometime all day, all night, half of the night, and people be riding up down the road, hollering, shooting, saying bad things, and we just kept right on working. And sometime on a Sunday, you be trying to have church service, and they be out in the road hooping and hollering, and all that old stuff. You know, now this all I call white trash that's doing this kind of stuff. You know, I don't believe the so-called good white people would do stuff like that. You know, but you got to read that Bible and explain that Bible to people for them to understand it, because a lot of people don't read the Bible. You know, they just hear stuff from word to mouth, and you know, a lot of people believe in stuff like that. And that's a bad thing too, because that's what put their name on this place, Voodoo Village. One joker had it and carried it on, and then they just passed it on around, and now you stuck with that name. You know, and nobody took time to find out what it's really about and why they named it that. They named it that because they didn't understand really what it was or what it was about, and then they asked nobody. Anytime you want to know something, you need to ask the people that got it, you know, and then you get the right understanding. But now, like I said, this place was built, as my old man told me, it's built for the future generation to come. It's to help people and teach people the right way to go. That's it.
Before this time another year, I may be gone.
My name is Washington James Harris. I was named after my grandfather, Doc Wash Harris. Well, people would come from miles and miles around, not only Memphis, Mississippi, Arkansas. They come from Chicago, Detroit, New York, Pennsylvania, a whole lot of places. Even people would come from across the water to see him, talk to him. They got a problem they don't feel like nobody else could help them with. The good Lord gave him a gift that he don't give many people, you know. Some people say voodoo, witchcraft, and all that stuff, but that ain't what it is. It's a gift from God. It's just like God give me a gift, God give you a gift. You know, everybody ain't got the same gift. If it was, everybody be running around in a circle, you know. But he could tell you some things that you think you didn't know about yourself, but you. Me and my old man, we started this place back at the where it was started back in the 60s. And I was small, but I hope do all the work that's here, you know, coming up.
The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. You're not preaching the gospel unless you address poverty in every form. Now, I have some interesting interpretations of the word gospel. To me, the gospel is a spell. It's a God spell, a good spell, a healing spell, a health spell, a wealth spell, a prosperity spell, a success spell, a money spell. And I'm warning you, just like I warn people in other places, I have come here to cast a spell on you. I'm telling you right now, so you can get out of here if you can't take it. Jesus said, I am anointed by the Spirit of the Lord to preach the gospel to the poor. And what the gospel, the God spell, the good spell does is that first of all, it breaks the evil spell. It breaks the poverty spell and casts forth the prosperity spell. Say to the people around you, he's casting a spell of prosperity on you. Oh, yes. You see, because the preaching of the gospel, as we preach the gospel, we're casting spells. As a matter of fact, you know, every mind is under some kind of spell. The reason that you have what you have and do what you do is because you're under that spell. It is the nature of the mind to both cast spells and to receive spells. But you see, when you find your divine self-mastery, then you realize that you can choose your own spell. And I'll warn you, if you don't choose your own spell, the world will cast its spells upon you.
Is a war, as the stars indicate, is it a war between the different ideologies, those who subscribe to different ideologies? One is slavery and the other is freedom. So it is a war between slavery or freedom. This is what the stars indicate.
What do you see, Lillian?
Well, talking with the freedom and astrological signs, this is true. If you notice, our society is playing down astrology or psychic ability because once that we recognize it and use it to our benefit, we have opened up a great avenue. We are trained to use our mind and to think forward. And this is what we're holding on to. And if we pay no attention to society, we'll be able to branch out and become better people.
But what should we do now?
We should take definite sides. We should not straddle any issues. Astrology indicates this, which is the universal laws.
Which side should black people take?
They should take the side of identifying themselves with the cause of freedom for black people. They should take all of their talents and whatever their natural gifts are in this struggle for freedom. And therefore, they will win and be in a unique position of leading the world to spiritual and material and social happiness and strength and power.
This was an incident, excuse me, that I remember when Ezekiel had a vision in the valley. And years ago, people talked about the dry bones. And when Ezekiel saw that vision, he wasn't talking about people being buried in the cemeteries or whatever, or being cremated. He was talking about you and I walking down the street and can't say, good morning, Mr. So-and-so, or how do you feel, Mrs. Ann? How's your children? Anytime a person can walk past you and can't give you a warm welcome or can't even speak, we're dead. That person's bones is dead. These are the things that Ezekiel saw during that time. He asked for the power of God to come down and to breathe into the people, and that was when a new nation. This is why I know that we're not at the end of destruction completely. We're at the end of things that has been bad, and there's such great hope for our nation.
Maperela se upote wangani bo silifantija mona kaila mebela tupai. One of the biggest misconceptions is that voodoo is evil, that we worship the devil. There's no devil or evil in voodoo. Voodoo just is. There's no black and white magic in voodoo either. Maperela se upote wangani bo silifantija mona kaila mebela tupai. The belief that voodoo is evil and voodoo is dark comes from the fact that voodoo is black. My family and I, we are from the Dominican Republic. Voodoo, it was just always part of my family. That's the thing with voodoo. If it's in your family and it hasn't been so far removed through generations, it'll still show up in some shape or form. Voodoo comes from West Africa. My lineage of voodoo is Haitian voodoo. It's a voodoo that was brought from Africa to the island of Haiti, and it became its own thing. Voodoo is family, voodoo is roots, voodoo is food, it's music, voodoo is prayer, it's song, dance, voodoo is worship, it's nature, it's knowing that everything around you is connected to you. In voodoo, we call the priestess a mambo and the priest a wongan. So a voodoo priestess is chosen by her family to take on that prestigious role. I didn't have any plans to turn my spiritual practice into a business. It was such a private thing for me. My husband and I do spiritual consultations, and the spiritual consultations are very different than any kind of reading, divination that you've ever done, because you're directly speaking to a spirit. The spirit comes, the spirit gets on the steering wheel, and we are on the passenger seat, and they're the ones just spilling all the beans. You came here asking for a man, asking about man when your actual problem is this, and this is what you need to be focused on. But what about the man? The man. This is your problem. You need to fix this, or else nothing matters. Oh, and I get messages from clients just saying thank you for the work. It doesn't matter whether it was, I haven't been able to get a job in 2 years and your job candle got me a job, or I've been working on this project for so long and I haven't been able to get it off the ground and your success candle helped me with that. Every day I'm fulfilled and rewarded whenever I hear that someone benefited from my work. A lot of times when I tell people that I'm a mumble, they're like, oh wow, really? What is that like? It's hard to put it into simple words. Or usually people are like, is that like being a witch? No. Voodoo is not witchcraft because voodoo is voodoo. Voodoo is African, voodoo is ancestral. And for witchcraft, especially nowadays, ancestors is not something that's necessary. Hoodoo's ancestor is voodoo. The Africans that were brought to the US through the South, who were enslaved, they took from voodoo what they could, and then they mixed with what was already here, which is Native American traditions and a little bit of European traditions, and that's what voodoo became. The biggest misconceptions of voodoo is that voodoo is evil, that we worship the devil. There's no devil in voodoo. We don't know that guy. We know that guy does not exist in our court of spirits. No, voodoo is just like everything else when it comes to spirituality. You have your light and you have your dark. That the devil and demons don't come from Black culture. They come from European culture. So it's quite the opposite. It's important for me to continue spreading light and truth about voodoo, hoodoo, and anything that has to do with African traditions. Anything that comes from, I call it the grandmother land because my motherland is Haiti. It's important to me that people are educated, and I'm taking a big responsibility being so vocal about it, but I don't want to be the only one. And I do want people who are strong in these traditions to feel comfortable enough to step forward and educate and work on removing the misconceptions and removing the misinformation and removing the taboos and the ugly that has been attached to anything Black for so many generations.
The first thing, Brother Clemson, that any human of any race, creed, or color should be taught is something about their own personal humanity. And once they know something about their own personal humanity, then all of humanity will be served better because of the understanding of what they know about themselves as a human being. Let me break that down a little further. Every human that's walking this earth, no matter what race, creed, or color that they may be, has a mother and a father that was used as human instruments to bring forth them and all of humanity into this world that we know today. This is what should be taught to the individual child as that child develops in age. They should be taught that coming from their mother's womb, they were attached to her umbilical cord. And the doctor, at the time of their birth, cut that umbilical cord to separate them from their mother, thereby beginning for them at that point, life independently was now in progress for that individual human being. When that life surge began to move about in their being, in their essence, that is the spiritual power that they were given by the use of their mother and father as human instruments to bring them forth in this world. Now, mind you, this spiritual power that they were given is called their personal divine spiritual birthright. That's their birthright. Okay? Has nothing to do with the religion. This is what you're supposed to teach your child. Has nothing to do with the religion. So in other words, every human born on earth was given this spiritual power, which is called their personal divine spiritual birthright, but never was given a religion. Religion, all religions are man-made, created by man. Has nothing to do with the human being. Has nothing to do with the creation of the human being. So the human being should know something about their own personal power, which is their life, and know something about how they got here by their parents being used as human instruments. And they also should know and be taught that every human has an invisible umbilical cord. And that invisible umbilical cord is called the pineal gland, which is a sensor organ that sits in the middle of your brain. It serves as a receiver and a sender by you receiving messages from the universe and sending messages from the universe. In other words, it's a conduit. And the bottom of your pineal gland are your nostrils. What do you do with your nostrils? You take intake air. You take in air to keep that spirit alive inside of you and keep you in constant consciousness as long as you live as a human being. Now, this consciousness via your pineal gland sets up for the human being their own personal universe, because you as a human being living on earth, you are connected via your pineal gland with the universe, with your personal universe, with the cosmic universe, the larger cosmic spiritual universe, which has no beginning and no ending. Okay? Now, if I cut your head open, I can see your brains, but I cannot see your mind. Your mind is invisible spirit. That's your personal universe. You see? If you know how to use your personal universe, which you're using it every day, whether you realize it or not, that personal consciousness coming from your personal awareness by way of consciousness, spiritual consciousness, creates for you, the human being, your own personal life. This is your life that you create within inside of your spiritual consciousness, within inside of your universe, your personal universe. Now, one has to also be taught that there are close to 7 billion other human beings walking this earth, of all races, creeds, and color. Everybody is trying to do the same thing, breathe in air and keep themselves alive. They too have their own personal universe. So therefore, the number of people walking this earth of all races, creeds, and color, which is close to 7 billion, they also have their own personal universe that they're dealing with. So in other words, everything that you see around you was once invisible. Everything that you see around you was invisible at one time. But from the minds of either a male or female come forth in physical form everything that you see around you. Okay? Now, that individual are known, or human beings as an individual are known as little creators. Okay? Now, we as little creators, male and female, can create and have created everything that you see around you in its physical form, except for the sky, the stars, the moon, the sun, air, water, earth, vegetation, animals, and humanity. Okay? A man and a woman singularly cannot create anything with life in it, because as you look around, you'll see the things coming out of their minds, but it has no life to it. See? It has no life. The life comes when the two, the male and the female, have a sexual union. And from that union comes procreation, comes life. But singularly, by themselves, they cannot create anything with life in it other than that form of togetherness to bring forth procreation. See? Now, everyone is in consciousness as a human being. That means that if you're alive, you are conscious. And from that consciousness that you are aware of, everything that you learn or see or hear or whatever the case might be comes into your consciousness. From your consciousness goes into your subconsciousness. So your consciousness and your subconscious mind are one and the same. Where are your subconscious mind? The subconscious mind is right here in your stomach area. The same area where your mother incubated you for 9 months. In other words, this is you're storing information consciously and subconsciously. They work side by side or with each other. So these are the things that needs to be taught to the human being. And every human should be taught that whatever they make up their mind that they want to do or want to achieve, they can achieve it. All they have to do is make up their mind, because they are already automatically in contact with the universe, like our ancestors, the ancient Egyptians. They were in contact with the universe. The universe was their teacher. The universe taught them how to build the Great Pyramid, how to build the Great Springs, how to bring forth all of civilization from their culture and giving it to and for the rest of the people living throughout the world. Okay? Every person living throughout the world today, no matter what race, creed, or color that they may be, are using something from the culture of our ancestors, the ancient Egyptians, because they were the first and oldest civilized people on planet Earth. So from that culture that they created over there in the continent of Africa, from that culture came civilization. And they were taught by the universe with the connection that they had with their cosmic, in tune, spiritual mind. And the universe taught them. So therefore, there's no other prior older civilization than the ancient Egyptians. So you can't say, well, the ancient Egyptians got this from another older civilization. No. The universe taught them. Okay? That's where you get the word university from, because of the universe teaching our ancestors, using them as human instruments, just like each human, their mother and father are used as, and were used as human instruments. The same thing with the universe using our ancestors, the ancient Egyptians, as human instruments to bring forth all of civilization for all of humanity. This is what an individual should be taught as a child growing up. As they modulate through the age development of their life, then they should be taught this. And so they can not fall into pitfalls or the traps of religion, because anytime an individual go to church and sit up in the pews of a church, he is given all of his spiritual power away to a dead image on a cross called Jesus the Christ. And this is what has to be taught to the human being, because everything that a human need or needed at the time of their birthday was given it spiritually. Everything that you need was given to you spiritually at the time of your birth. So you don't need a religion. Man created a religion. You wasn't born with a religion. There's nothing on your birth certificate that says that you're a Christian. There's nothing on a birth certificate that says that you're a Muslim or a Jew or Black Hebrew Israelite or Buddhist or Hindu or etc., etc. Nothing on that that says that you are, and your humanity is tied up into any kind of religion. So these are the things that should be taught to the human being, and teach that human being that they could incubate their thoughts, and those thoughts will eventually, if they work, they have to work at it now. They just can't take in a thought and say, I want a car, and then thinking that a car is going to appear at the curb for them. No, it's not going to do that. You're going to take that thought into your conscious mind, work it with your subconscious mind. It's going to do that automatically. And then you're going to have to ideas, because you have now decided what you want to manifest in your life. Because, like I mentioned before, about your own personal universe. And from that personal universe that you possess as a human being, you can create your own world. So now, at this moment, you as a human being, you are in need of a car, for instance. Okay? And then you decide what kind of car you want. And you begin to manifest and bring this car into your life, or a car into your life. But you have to do some work. You got to follow your mind, your first mind. You got to follow hunches. You got to follow ideas will pop in your head of how you, the human being, can get a car. So you have to teach our children how to use their own personal humanity by telling them and teaching them and developing that ideology into their everyday life. Okay? So this is what has to be taught before you can teach anybody anything. It's about your own personal humanity. Who am I as a human being? So that's very, very key. And once they know who they are as a human being, then development began to set in place. But it's very detrimental to teach that child about a religion without telling that child and teaching that child who they are as human beings. And if you know these things I'm talking about, then you won't ever need a religion, because you wasn't born with a religion. You were born with an indwelling divine spiritual birthright. You were born with power of life, your personal power. And why give it away to any man-made religion? So this is what has to be taught to humans throughout the world.
The future of black people is wrapped up in the basic characteristics of cancer, which is the sign of civilization. Civilization, that is to say, those who do not make war, but feed and nurture the fruitfulness and the creativity of a people. It is a sign of the mother, since it rules the anatomical part of the body, the breast, which feeds us, which we all are fed upon. And I might call to your attention that in the natural sequence of the horoscope, this is the bedrock or foundation of the entire scheme of the world. The future is always projected by the phases and the movement of the moon. You've heard of the first quarter or the first phase of the moon. This is because of the moon passing between the sun and the earth and it appears in different forms or shapes. Slivers, sort of crescent shape, and the phases are identified by the particular shape or appearance of the moon. It is known as the new moon, or the wasting moon, or the waxing moon, which is new. That is after the moon has apparently embraced the sun and then passed on with vitality, drive, and fruitfulness.
Well, as Jethro was explaining about the moon, I was feeling that this is the time that the black people become, it's like planting something. They have been under the earth, buried for a long time. And as I see it now, it's just like someone is going to build a new foundation, and just by chance, they had hit the soil where the black people had been buried for so long. And they're turning it up now. And the phases of the moon, where he says the wasting of the moon, things going away, it has been going away for over centuries for the black man. But now it's where the moon is beginning to show favoritism. The black man is rising up slowly. He's learning now what to do with what he has. He's had this knowledge for many, many years. For instance, when you plant a dahlia, the root that is buried deep, when you dig it up the next year, you have 2 tubes instead of 1, 2 bulbs instead of 1. So you break them off. And this is what happened to the black man. He has been buried so long. There are many bulbs that's going to come to surface, and you can branch them off and break them, and then you can find him taking place all over the universe. In every phase of that chart, a black man will stand out, and he will rise up and be able to demand his rights. If I remember correctly my history, beginning of time, it was the black man. When our pyramids were built, our black men were the ones who built them. And we didn't have the machinery, or we didn't have scientific methods of getting an object or a rock or a stone and put it together and build these beautiful buildings and beautiful edifices, but these things still stand today. That was done by the black man. But through our history, these things was pushed so far back that we forgot them. Also, I see here that as a nation, we won't be a black man ruling over white man or white man ruling over black man. We be put together, and you wonder what color we are. Color won't even matter. Our souls and minds are going to come in, and our minds will rule. But yet the black man will have a specific place. We have a place now, but we'll be able to know this. See, we're not too sure of ourselves now. Our footing is sort of shaky, but we're going to have the confidence as the moon goes around, as you can see.
Well, how are these things going to come about? How is a society going to come about where the black man will be equal to the white man, there will be no difference and so forth?
Well, our freedom, because we'll be able to live our life naturally. When I say naturally, don't get me wrong. When I talk about natural, people think your hairstyle or eating raw foods. This is not what I'm talking about. Something that's within you that you didn't manufacture and place it there. The same as being a psychic. It's so natural that people wonder that we are really weird because we say things and we do things that you couldn't dream of. This is a black man. This is part of his heritage. It's real. And he, for instance, in our culture, our arts, the black man has it already. And he'd be able to have more confidence in himself to bring it out. In our government, maybe not today, but very soon, we'll be able to stand equal. We have the knowledge, but we have the confidence to bring it out. In our music world, there are the arts, again, we will bring it out. We have been doing it all along, and we have been giving our knowledge to someone else, and someone else has brought it out and exploited us. So this is one of the things that I see here. I don't know how to read these charts and the symbols, but I can just tell what I feel.
Just confining ourselves to your specific kind of talent. Who do you think will be elected president in 1972?
Well, at this moment, it is quite questionable. Our President Nixon is doing a tremendous job, I say, in keeping into the public's eye, and that is also things he's doing is quite favorable and unfavorable. But being a politician, it was a very good move. Let me say this to you, making a very broad statement. If he becomes elected, I do not feel strongly that he would serve his 4 years. But there is
you see some illness?
He has an illness that is kept quite secret from the public that he is trying to take care of now. But I also see a dark horse, someone we don't know right now that will come up in the presidential election.
What about the war in Vietnam?
Well, there again, our president will make a very strong stand just before the presidential election to free our boys, to bring them home. But to me, I get it, is coming home in one door, but war being another door, almost simultaneously.
You mean we will get out of Vietnam and immediately become involved in another war?
Well, when we say the word war, there's many kinds of wars. We have all kinds of wars now. The drug war, economy war, all kinds of war. Yes, there will be another war. But I want to say that we should be very careful far as Japan is concerned. I feel Japan is very restless now. The restless I feel is almost the restless that I think our nation felt in Pearl Harbor. And please don't misunderstand me when I make that statement. Pearl Harbor, I was in school at the time, but I can remember the rumbling among the students. And the rumbling I feel now is the same kind of feeling, but a different kind of war.
What about Africa? What do you foresee as the future of Africa and international relations?
Well, there's a lot of cleaning up to be done there before we can get that together. Africa has its own personal problems. And right now, United States has theirs so much that I don't feel that United States is going to be a great assistance to Africa or the kind of need or help that Africa should have. Africa is going to do a lot on their own. They're using their mind tremendously, trying to get their thing together. We in the Western world play short our concepts of what our mind can do. We're so busy using our body and our hands that we forget to use our mind, and that's going to defeat us.
How do you mean defeat us?
Well, we're being defeated now. When you see the drug war on, if that's not affecting our mind, I don't know what else is doing. All the other wars that affected our body has killed us and burned us in ground. So that didn't stop us. We still had more children, raised up more boys and girls to go to war, and we kept on raising up a nation. You think back when we talk about the coming of Christ or the coming of a Messiah. Well, you should stop and think and ask some of the people who lived here before 1914. What was it like?
Before 1914?
Yes, 1914. What was it like then? It was wars going on then. Then in 1940, the children that were brought into the world then. And then the war, Korean, now the war on drugs. All these things leading up to defeat a nation. And they said, and this all comes out in the Bible of Revelation, rumors and rumors of wars, and each war is to break us down and tear us down and to take something from us so we won't have nothing left. And I don't think this has anything to do whether you're black or white.
Then are you predicting the destruction of America?
Absolutely. If we don't clean up this drug, we won't have a nation. Not America, a world. And this is what's happening, and we're not really facing facts. We're not even thinking that the Bible has anything to do with our nation. It does. It's telling us of our history, our heritage. And this drug on war is really taking a stronghold, and it's almost winning.
The Bible is full of allusions, astrological allusions to the end of the world. It's actually inspired writings of men who had observed the phenomenons in nature, which there again is associated with the science of astrology.
A lot of people say that 1994, is it?
Yes, that is the
What's supposed to happen in 1994?
At that particular time, insofar as we can read what the stars indicate, it is said that the country which is in power, and that is the United States, it said that they will have withdrawn from all the places of the world, and they will be contained within their own hemisphere or continent. And then this particular hemisphere in which the United States exists will be rife with fire and war and strife until the new regime comes. This is predicted in Revelations as well as being indicated in the science of astrology.
What do your stars tell you that the new regime will be?
It tells me that it will be a regime of liberality, freedom, individual respect, science, a quite advanced scientific nation of people who will be ever peaceful and quite forward in their quest in space. It will be very scientific. It will be more objective. They won't be as so personal and so sociable as they are today, yet they will exist in a much more peaceful state. That is after the process of polarity is over.
What does that mean?
Going on today.
Explain polarity to me.
Polarity, to put it in common words, means a separation of elements from each other, which constitutes a positive or a negative side, which we have in all things. It's a natural process. This is what is going on among the black people today. The process of polarity. They really don't know where they're going and what they're going to do after this cry of black power and making their statement that they're no longer going to be oppressed, you see. This is the process of a natural process, which is in keeping with the universal laws or the manifestation of nature as we know it. All things separate. To say it biblically, it is a separating of the wheat from the shaft. We must take sides, and we're going to take sides from the natural force of things. It's only a natural thing.
Well, how does polarity relate to black and white people?
It relates in this respect, that the black people are now in the process of separating themselves completely from the white people, the so-called white people.
Why?
So they can establish an identity and be respected as such, and therefore take a part in the management of the world, or the conditions of the world.
What about the Aquarian Age? What does that mean?
The Aquarian Age is the age of freedom. It is an age of scientific intuition. It's the age of humanitarianism. That is, the Aquarian Age personifies the attitude of help for the many as opposed to the few. The sign of Aquarius will be in the mid-heavens. That means the uppermost sign or astrological influence, that is from the heavens. Taurus will be ascending, Scorpio will be descending, and Leo shall be the nadar or the foundation of the coming civilization in the year 1994. Now there's some controversy as to when the Aquarian Age starts. I get mine from the mathematics that went into the building of the pyramid or the Spank of Giza, which sits geographically and mathematically in the center of the world and was made and created by black people. The Aquarian Age will bring freedom, liberation, and individual respect for every creature that inhabits the earth after the destruction. Scorpio will bring the healing powers of procreation. Leo will bring the renaissance in education, because it is education that has brought about the oppression, because it has been programmed for a particular reason, that is to keep the people subjected and to perpetuate those who are in power. Taurus will bring a new age of economy predicated upon the only true values on earth, and that is earth. And there will be no more taxes on the individual or people, but only on productive land, which is the only natural and fair system of economy known to man. That, therefore, I say that we're all awaiting
both of you, both of you.
When you're born in the lineage of voodoo, whether you are a Mambo or Wangan or just someone who's born with voodoo as in your family, everybody has a thing that they excel at. That is their gift. And so for me, my gift is natural medicine, which is having a connection with plants and having that plant tell me, it's like, okay, tell me what you're about, and then I'll tell you what I need from you. And then we work together to heal a person. Because all plants have a spirit. They're living beings. They all have a spirit, meaning they all have a magic component to them. You can use them for ritual, you can use them for spiritual purposes, but not all plants have the same degree, the same level of medicine, and so this is how you separate them. Voodoo made its way to New Orleans through the slave trade. So you had enslaved people who were brought to New Orleans directly from West Africa or from Haiti. And so a lot of what you find here and throughout the world is what we call the synthesism of the roots of voodoo with Catholicism, which made way to you venerating your spirits under a disguise, the disguise of a Catholic saint. That's what gave birth to New Orleans form of voodoo.
So the way that Vodou got the reputation it has today, the biggest and most global reason is that the only documented successful slave revolt to occur on land in all of world history happened in Haiti. So it is said that the first island-wide Haitian Vodou ritual was held in 1791. And then over the next 12 years, the Haitians proceeded to overthrow the French and then the Spanish. And that scared the mess out of the Europeans. That's when we found out Vodou was evil and something to be avoided at all costs. It also gives you more of an idea why they would try to kill you if they found you practicing it. Because they're like, whatever it is they're doing, managed to overthrow us. You have as many different types of Louisiana plantation Vodou as you do plantations. In any one African country, you've got upwards of 100 different languages, customs, etc. So when we were brought here, we don't know each other, but we realized that we're gonna have to make family with the people who we're here with. So over time, we of course start sharing our different legends, folklore. We start finding out we have some spirits in common, and we start to blend our ways of honoring those spirits, their names, their colors, etc. There was a point in New Orleans history where there were well over 1,000 plantations, to my knowledge, along the Mississippi, in Louisiana alone. And so there's a lot of energy in this river. A lot of it's mournful, but a lot of it's joyful. And so this would actually be Oshun. Oshun is the spirit of the river. She's the spirit of love and of drumming and of dance. What I get from practicing Vodou is a lot of tangible evidence that God and my ancestors are present. As an African American, it's essential that I'm connected to my ancestors, because when things get hard for me now, I know what my ancestors were able to live through. And what they've also helped me to understand is they didn't live through that for me to turn around and go through the same things that they did. So I always feel like I have this force field around me. That's what I get from Vodou, is knowing that I'm cared for, I'm loved, and feeling tangibly the fact that I'm not alone. It's not just an idea anymore.
voodoo is as organic as waking up, making yourself a cup of coffee, but before you sip your coffee, you drop some on the floor for the ancestors, you drop some on the floor for the earth. What voodoo isn't is devil worshiping or dark magic. Usually when you hear people talk about voodoo or even portray voodoo, whether on film, whether on TV, or even in books, they always focus on the ceremonial, ritualistic, magic part of voodoo, but they miss out what voodoo actually is, which is a way of life.
Influence everything else. I see no reason why they shouldn't influence the behavior of man. And therefore, I became interested in astrology. I became interested in astrology in the year 1909. More about the man that taught me astronomy. He was a black man who on his own had came to America a free man and therefore not subjected to slavery. When I met him, he was 115 years old and had the papers to prove it.
What year was this in, Mr. Locke?
The year 1907.
So you met him?
I was the ripe old age of 9 years.
So you met him back down south in Carbon Hill, Alabama?
No, I met him in Pratt City, Alabama.
Okay.
My parents carried me to Birmingham, Alabama, 3 weeks after I was born.
And so how did you happen to come under his instruction?
That was, to me then, a mystery, and is still a mystery. He appeared one day out of nowhere. As a little boy, I had this great big oak tree that I used to sit under and watch the stars. So he's sitting under my tree one night. I want to know what he's doing there. It seemed like he and I had the same purpose. Only in this late day I must think that he was purposely sent to teach me. He had set up housekeeping in one of the abandoned mines and he and I instantly took to each other. And of course my mother felt as though I was safe whenever I was in his company. And this was every night. It was clear enough to see the stars. This went on for 18 months. Till one day he told me that his mission had been accomplished and he was moving on. And that I were not to look for him or to look after him. He simply vanished. And from that day until this day, I was doing nothing about it. Now that I look back on it all, I wonder just who he was. Was it a figment of my imagination, or did he actually exist?
Well, your mom saw him too.
Yeah.
He must have been real.
Must have been real.
Yes, sir.
But he was steeped in African lore. His was an astronomy of Western Africa. He spoke much of Nigeria.
And what was the West African astrology like? I mean, astronomy like?
It was very much like the astronomy that I have been taught, that is Chaldean and Egyptian in motive. I would say that he taught me Egyptian astronomy. And my teaching was with the naked eye and an imaginative mind. And I began to think that if the sun and the moon and the various fixed stars all over creation was motivated and operated, run, and set in motion by some unseen power, to me that power was suggestive of God. And that power seemingly was regulated by laws just the same as I. Then it became my idea that under this law the whole universe subsisted, that nothing could exist outside this law. And that was the law of perpetuity, of perpetual motion. Everything is in a state of flux, from the greatest star to the smallest insect. All of them in a state of motion. Motion became a law unto itself. Whether we would, in our motions, whether we would go forward or backwards, is entirely left up to our own sense of direction, so-called freedom of mind. When I began seriously to study astrology and its effect on man, I was at once surprised that it seemed to have all had its beginning in Egypt, in some far-off day and date. It is my feelings, together with that of astrology, that the first men to use astrology was naturally those men endowed by nature to be able to stand the unbearable heat of the day, the unbearable heat of the sun, and therefore by nature would have been covered with the color that protected them from the heat, namely the black man.
Why would he have to withstand the sun then? I thought that we studied the stars at night.
From them we get wisdom for the day. And we know of the intense heat of the sun in the day. And we do know that a black skin protects and acts to soften the rays of the sun. Another phase of becoming interested in astrology was that in reading the Bible, I had came across a phrase that said, eternally into the heavens. So it occurred to me that God used the stars and the heavens as his Bible, knowing full well that man could never reach the heavens to upset his Bible. And that as far as I'm concerned, the element above our heads is God's living Bible, that no man can twist to suit his convenience, and where thieves do not break through another. And with that thought in mind, I believe with my whole heart, mind, and soul that the heavens, truly like the psalmist say, are the living springs of God's eternal mercy toward man. In that, the heavens declares his glory, and the firmament shows his handiwork, both day and night. If, in truth, the heavens is the living Bible of God, they must also be the written history of man. I connote astrology with the history of man. I believe that it tells the full history of man, how he came upon the earth, and how finally he will leave the earth. I also believe that the first men were shepherds by nature, not shepherds as we understand the word shepherd, but shepherds of other men. And they were mostly astrologers. There may have existed a priesthood among them. Of this I'm not sure. But at any rate, they were learned men, who I also believe may have been taught by beings that did not originate on this earth, and who can be said that their knowledge came from outer space or from on high. Such could very easily be the brains that built the Sphinx, the brains that built the pyramids, because certainly no mathematician of the present day and time has the faintest notion of how those two things got there. But there they are, as a living image of God's work. How he went about having this work accomplished, I know not. But I'm egotistic enough to think that my guess is as good as any other man's. And my guess is that God calls this be. As a matter of fact, I know it could not have been had not God called me to be. I mean, as much as it has so much related astrology about it, then astrology undoubtedly is the means through which God talks to men today as he did in the days of yore. All that is needed is understanding. I believe that I have been blessed with this understanding and speak with authority.
Well, it's over and over. Oh, oh no, oh no, God's gonna ride on the winning tide. But it's over and over. Oh, oh no, oh no, God's gonna ride on the winning tide. Brother Noah, my God's talking, ride on the winning tide. Said he would ride on the wind and tide. Hey, children, stop still and listen to me. God walked down to the brandy sea. He declared that he must send for man, and then he decided to destroy the land. He spoke to Noah. Noah stopped. He said, Noah, I want you to build me an ark. I want you to build it 3 cubits long. I want you to build it big and strong. I want it 50 high and 50 wide, so it will stand the wind and tide. It's oh Noah, oh Noah. Oh no, God's gonna ride on the winning tide. But it's a oh no, oh no, oh no, God's gonna ride on the winning tide. God's gonna ride on the winning tide. God's gonna ride on the winning tide. Oh Noah, brother Noah, my God's talking. Said he would ride on the wind and tide. Well, after the foundation was laid, then Noah began to hew and